UN just voted against the US on Cuba, and Nikki Haley rips them a new one. The American people. The United Nations doesn't have a history of being brave, moral, or even useful, but it's not often that someone publicly calls the body out on its hypocrisy. It wasn't often before Nikki Haley anyway. Now, to the delight of all freedom-loving Americans, it's commonplace. Haley has proven time and again that she won't mince words with the UN whenever they oppress Israel, or whenever they prop up evil dictators or refuse to help Christians around the world. If the UN makes an immoral move, when the UN makes an immoral move, Haley has been there to denounce the body and stand for American principles. So when the UN votes to condemn the US for enforcing a trade embargo on Cuba as punishment for Cuba's violation of human rights, well, Haley spoke again, and she was very clear. The American people have spoken. After all, we elected Trump, and he doesn't play around with dictators. The Independent Journal Review reports the United Nations passed a resolution calling for the United States to end its embargo against Cuba and its communist regime. The resolution was adopted 191 to 2, with only the U.S. and Israel voting against it. Nikki Haley blasted the world body in the bottom line style supporters of the former governor of South Carolina have come to admire. IJR is being modest. The bottom line style supporters have come to admire. Hasn't just earned Haley applause from South Carolina, hardly. Pretty much the whole country is giving her a standing ovation at this point. The Cuban regime is sending the warped message to the world that the sad state of its economy, the opposition of its people, and the export of its destructive ideology is not its fault. To those who are confused as to where the United States stands, let me be clear. As is their right, the American people have spoken. They have chosen a new president, and he has chosen a new ambassador. Our principles are not up for a vote. As long as the Cuban people continue to be deprived of their human rights, the United States does not fear isolation in its chamber, even if we have to stand alone. I agree. Cuba Reality Check. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley for speaking truth to power about Cuba. Luckily for the world, the UN resolution can't force the U.S. to do anything. So the embargo stands, but it's nice to see international liberal finger wagging met with the blunt spoken force of American principles. So true. I stand by that. Absolutely. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.